Furthermore, and most importantly, when are people going to realize that we are the government? Why are we taxing ourselves so much?
I don't know about you, but I'm finding this guy really boring. What do you two have to say about this? You two are Toastmasters.
In the front there.
Sorry, sir. Well, I have two of the Toastmaster. Well, I don't know if you'd call yourself critics, but you're Toastmaster evaluators.
And I'd look at him and I'd say he needs our training.
He needs really, training. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need a jacket and tie, I guess, to give a talk? Do you?
First of all, I would start with the appearance. I think his appearance is quite out of the norm for a Toastmasters audience.
That's funny that you'd say that.
That's not that funny. Now, Art and Judy, you're both with Victoria Toastmasters?
I'm with Saanich Peninsula.
Aha! And Art, you're with Victoria.
Victoria Toastmasters Club 38, the very first international Toastmasters Club.
Woohoo! That's nothing to do with making bread or toast?
No, we make better Toastmasters and better public speakers, Gordy.
Would a singles bar be like a Mixmasters? Anyhow.
This is interesting because I've heard a lot about Toastmasters, but I've never really quite grasped the idea behind it. And like you said, it's to make better public speakers.
It is, and I think one of the key ingredients of improving public speaking is confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And confidence is what Toastmasters is all about.
Mm-hmm.
You get the people, and I believe it's Toastmasters is one of the best ways to improve your public speaking because people fear it more than death itself. Although I don't know, with watching Gordy at the podium, what he fears more.
That's an interesting point because I can stand in front of the microphone or in front of the camera with a goofy little microphone, and it doesn't bother me. But if I have to stand in front of a room of 100 people, man, I get the sweat on the upper lip and I'm dying.
Butterflies in the stomach and the knees.
Do you have a trick to teach people how to deal with the butterflies? Because that's, I think, with performers, actors, artists, anybody that has to kind of do their thing in front of a whole group of people, they get that little flip-flop thing
I think it's just regularly doing it. The weekly practice in Toastmasters gets you over that.
Do you practice in front of the mirror?
Well, I don't, but you practice in front of your club, and then when you a growing experience is moving out and giving speeches to other clubs. This Golden Gavel that's on now, is excellent for this. It gives new speakers a chance to get up and speak in front of a different audience.
And then be evaluated?
It's really a growing experience.
They're not actually evaluated, Michaela. In a speech competition, it's an actual judging, and there's a little bit of a subtle distinction. In an actual Toastmasters meeting, what you're doing is you're evaluating with the idea of helping the person grow. It might be, for example, if we looked at Gordy here, we might look at
it gently, but if it was judging, you'd say, "Listen, pal, change the clothes."
We'd say it very tactfully, and we point out, Gordy, your gestures are very staccato. They're all over the place. They're not focused.
Are you not supposed to move your hands too much, or are you supposed to move them in a manner
when you make a point, there are certain ways you can focus on gestures, and you want to exemplify your point, but no finger pointing.
Oh.
Politicians finger point, but Toastmasters aren't supposed to do that.
Rubbing your nose isn't right either.
That's a little on the tacky side.
The whole idea, it's not because there's a set of rules that somebody's decided are good or right or wrong, but it's what is going to be most effective to your audience. Is that really the idea behind it?
Exactly.
If he's going to scare me by waving his fist around, that's not what we want.
That would be quite intimidating, and you want to make your audience feel as comfortable as possible.
I wasn't comfortable, Gordon.
Oh.
You weren't?
No.
But I think what I've found in my 10 years in Toastmasters, one of the most effective mechanisms is where you build audience rapport. You're reaching out, you're touching your audience, and putting your message across in a convincing fashion.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but if I have certain topics that I can go forever. Don't even get me started.
Well, that's one of the most interesting things also is that when you start out in Toastmasters, a lot of people say, well, I don't have anything to say. I don't have enough time to fill the air time. Yeah. And they find
why are you looking at him? I can't understand why.
When they give their first speech, of course, you're looking at a 5 to 7 minute speech, similar to this Golden Gavel speaking competition. You find most people, given half a chance, they'll go on for hours.
Well, let's talk more about the Golden Gavel, because that's really what we're here to talk about. It's coming up February. What are the dates?
The 6th, 7th, and the 8th and 9th, and the finals are on the 18th.
Now, is this strictly for experienced Toastmasters?
We coordinate the contest, but this is open to the public. And
you mean I could come in with my speech on reducing taxation, or can you talk on anything? Any topic?
You can talk on pretty well anything except sex, religion, and politics. So I'm not sure.
How about football? I mean, that's a good one to avoid too. You don't want to argue about football.
Sport, you might see a speech, for example, about the hockey strike. You might see a speech about one of the better ones I saw a few years ago was a lady talking about turning 40 and what that meant to her.
Oh, neat.
It was quite fun.
You wouldn't know about that, though, would you? There's
Just
a
had,
young
just
guy.
had that birthday.
Well, that's great. So if somebody is interested in, let's say, trying out for the Golden Gavel competition, how would they get in touch with either one of you?
Well, they could
They would just give us a phone call at my number 655-4444.
Okay.
And, or Art, I don't know your number.
361-3747.
And also, if they were just interested in finding out more about Toastmasters in general,
Definitely,
good way to
definitely.
give you a
We
call.
have another number for that, 475-7333.
All these numbers.
And that one's listed in the telephone directory, so they could look it up in the phone book.
And where is the competition being held?
It's at the Goodwill Enterprises on Bay, just across the Bay Street Bridge.
Okay.
And it's 7 o'clock, 7:30. And the cost is $5 a night. And it's great just to come in and
Listen
see it.
to
And
them.
if anybody's ever wondered what Toastmasters is, it's a good chance to just come in and observe, but not feel out of place or anything.
Well,
Because
this could be your moment in the sun.
I want to try again. Can I try again?
Okay.
I want to talk about negative billing and Cablevision rates. Okay? I think Cablevision should be shut off the air. I think there should only be broadcast stations, and
There's that gesture.
I guess there's only about
That one-handed
Okay, I give up.
What we do for that is we get
Cut off his arm.
a large knife, and then we tie the other hand behind his back.
Thanks a
think?
lot, you guys. You guys are great. You guys are good sports. Thanks so much.